If you are guilty of scrolling Facebook sourdough groups and saying, "Oh my gosh, what a beautiful crumb. Can I have your recipe?" No. That's not going to help gently. I hope I'm not being mean. Every regular sourdough recipe that just has flour, water, salt, and sourdough starter is just one person putting out there their preferred amount of each ingredient, their timing, and their temperature. It is something that you can adjust. So if you have tried 20 recipes and nothing is ever turning out, then you need to take one recipe and figure out what you're doing wrong. I highly suggest that you use a reputable recipe. Not trying to throw any shade, but there are crazy amounts of sourdough creators out there now, and a lot of those people don't really know what they're talking about, and maybe their recipe isn't great. Again, you can probably make a really great loaf out of their recipe, but I suggest that you use a recipe that's been reviewed a bunch or that's from a person that you trust, because that person is more likely to put more tips and more knowledge into their recipe. For example, Maurizio always puts a desired dough temperature. So if you know, oh, his dough is like really warm and I'm in a really cold climate, I need to maybe extend my bulk fermentation because he's mixing his dough a lot warmer. All these context clues, all these little extras that really good recipe developers put in their recipes, that is how you're going to get a good loaf. You can't just look at a person's loaf and say, "Can I have that recipe?" And they say, "Sure, I used this much flour, this much water, this much starter, this much salt. I bulk fermented for this many hours, did this many folds, shaped it, put it in the fridge, baked at this temperature." Your dough's not going to turn out the same way as theirs because you have no idea what temperature their house was at. Maybe you don't even really know if they say, "Well, I used white flour." Well, what kind of flour? All of these things make such a big difference. So I urge you to stop scouring the Facebook groups and start focusing on nailing one recipe and understanding the process a lot more.